Homa Bay has received 91 billion so far. Show us something that looks like 91 billion. By the way,
nothing.
Homa Bay has a leadership problem. Full stop. Let me tell you. How much is a grader? Hata kama wangeamua nunue tractor moja ile inaitwa grader ya kulima barabara. The road we saw that looked like Yemen needed a grader, not billions. You know, kuna vitu zingine unaweza angalia.
How many graders are idle in Homa Bay?
There are so many idle graders in this country. But they don't want to fix roads because wanataka wapeane tender to private companies. So when you come and tell us that the roads that look like that because the area is marginalized, ni wapi walijaribu kugurumisha grader ikasema haiendi juu ni Homa Bay? And let me tell you, when you go to Homa Bay, you will find a guy employed, permanent and pensionable. Kazi yake ni to operate a county grader. Hapa Nairobi, grader zinamalizanga miezi 3. Haijawahi guruma. Na kuna mtu anaandikwa driver ama operator mwenye ameandikwa permanent and pensionable. Some of those roads just needed a grader, nothing else. Homa Bay hakuna tipa, tuliona mawe imejaa huko. Kulikosa tu tipa inaweza kota mawe ikuje imwage hapo ifinywe na ile compactor. It's just because they want to give these tenders to private companies. Let me tell you.
So that means they're creating a crisis.
When you compare how much money, this thing is just leadership. Dende Nyoro was the chair of the budget committee. He's speaking nicely about having done 120 schools. Mgala muwe na haki yake mpe. He's speaking. Now Atandi is occupying that seat. The schools in Atandi's constituency looks like the ones za huko kwa Kindiki. Zenye unachungulia hivi unaona mwalimu kutoka pande ile nyingine ya nje. So now when you come and ask and say and tell us that shida yenu ni marginalization, you ask somebody, kwani kuna 120 million ambayo ni special kuliko 120 million nyingine? Because you give one MP 150 million, he does classrooms. You give another one in Homa Bay, he does something called marginalization. He says we are marginalized, so tuko na 150 million hatuwezi jenga classroom.
Hata tutarudishia kwa treasury.
Sahi Muranga, kwani Muranga inapewa pesa mingi kuliko Homa Bay? Google on your phone, how much money has Muranga received in the last 10 years? And how much money has Homa Bay received in the last 10 years? Some of these counties are getting more money than our own counties. But if you are building toilets at $500,000 for a toilet, because that's a very important project, you're putting in $500,000. Alafu munakuja kutuambia shida ya Homa Bay ni hakuna marginalization iko hapo.
The fact that development has not been going to the western part of the country for the
but they just said here they have sent money.
The fact is that
yes,
CDF leo napata wanafanya nini?
Let my best speak.
Does not build roads.
Okay.
Classrooms roads. And you know, at times classrooms they build, but you know, kama huko na 5 na mwingine hako na -5, huamwezi kuwa the same. Mtu atakuja ukishafika 2 yako 7.
Because they called making the best of what you have. And most of the people are not doing.
We are telling him
I am not defending.
Kiharu has 120 schools.
But guys,
Kiharu, when Nyoro was a budget chair, he skewed some of those development to
Atandi's budget chair. Umeona kwake?
He drove those developments to his part. To his part of the constituency. Will Atandi do that? I don't know.
So what does Homa Bay have to show for its 4 years? That's actually, if anything, that is a question we have now as a
stadium.
What do they have? So
they have cold storage facilities. They have trucks to bring fish to the
priority is stadium as opposed to roads, as opposed to structures. That was it's a leadership
technical
problem.
and vocational training.
That's the problem.
Let me take you inside her brain. If you want to understand how her mind works. She comes to the Senate committee. Gladys Wanga has been the strongest defender of this government. And Shah, by the way, she's told Shah owes your county 350 million. And you're telling us it's paying and it's working. Can you please explain to us? This is just last month. Si kitambo. In the month of July, alikuwa naulizwa, Shah owes your county 350 million. Haijalipa county yako 350 million. You are the ambassador of Shah going around telling everybody Shah is working. The one who's going everywhere telling people Shah is. Tell us how Shah owes your county Homa Bay 350 million. Gladys Wanga could not explain. The only thing she could speak about is how we are two-termed. And by the way, this thing of Rironi Summit, and I need to have that conversation because there is an attempt by some people within this country to make it look like ni barabara tu za Mount Kenya zimejengwa, iya Rironi Summit haikuwa ijengwa. Let me make something very clear. But then the biggest beneficiaries of the Riraoni Mount Summit road are still going to be us, because between here and Naivasha ni community gani iko hapo wengi? From Naivasha to Nakuru ni community gani iko hapo wengi? Kutoka Nakuru kwenda Molo ni community gani iko hapo wengi? So we are not fighting Riraoni Mount Summit, because people have always wanted to make it seem like ni watu wa kutoka mlima wataki Riraoni Mount Summit. Wewe mahali inaishia ni Njoro. If you think about it, mahali inaishia pale Mount Summit, hapo ndipo Wakikuyu ni kama wanaishia. So if it is anybody who wants that road built, it's ourselves. More than anybody else. We want that road. In fact, tuna support ijengwe kesho asubuhi. So let that thing in this whole country iishe. We never want to hear people thinking ati watu wa Mount Kenya ndio wataki Riraoni Mount Summit ijengwe. Kutoka hapa mpaka ile junction ya Njoro, sisi ndio wengi na tunaomba Mungu ijengwe iishe. Tunataka hiyo barabara ijengwe. So let those people who've been selling that propaganda, watu wa tutam, juu tumewasikia ati ni watu wa Mount Kenya wataki hiyo barabara ijengwe, tunataka ijengwe. In fact, imechelewa.
Since the beginning of devolution, Homa Bay has received approximately 100 billion and Murang'a has received approximately 94 billion.
Yes.
The allocation of funds and the resulting local debates in both regions center on distinct political and financial developments, a difference of 0.6 billion more than Murang'a. And it costs less to build stuff in Homa Bay because bricks are made
Homa Bay gets more money than Murang'a.
Wanga is a person known to me. Kajuang is a person known to me, Moses. So I do not want to appear like I'm defending them. The fact is that we might be having a leadership issue.
We are not might.
Having,
might shows there's a possibility there.
Crisis.
A crisis, actually. But what I would say is that those guys have just shot themselves on the foot. Now we are talking about how marginalized or how poor the Homa Bay County is. Kama wangeallow tu watu wapitie kwa barabara ile mzuri, wafike tu huko kama wana vumbi kwa nywele na kwa ndevu. People will not have known
ndevu bwana.
Kuna pia mtu ako na ndevu kama za
unapata aje nini kwa ndevu bwana?
Una sneeze matope
Bwana.
They just exposed the county to the world, and now we know how Homa Bay is, how poor the roads are, how poor the schools are, like Fanya Mambo is saying. So walijaribu kuzuia diarrhea na kushona nini the exit. It cannot work like that. Yes.
Dende Nyoro, Kenya does not have a problem of parties. I don't know why you needed a new one. Vyama ni vingi, hata kuna vingine. So ungeenda tufanya kazi
99.
Yes, ungeenda fanya kazi na PLP ya Marakarua. Angefanya kazi na hii ingine ya Peter Munya. There are so many parties in this country. We don't have a problem of parties.
Yes.
I wish to tell you, Dende Nyoro, and I want to make it very clear. If you walk this way and you find someone who is suffering from HIV and AIDS, what usually happens, they'll have diarrhea, they'll have coughing, they'll have every other sort of ailment that comes, they will have it. So the problem we are having is that we are having leaders who are coming and telling us how to treat symptoms of a person who is already really ill. So munataka dawa ya homa, dawa ya nini? What Dende Nyoro was telling us, let us fix education, let us fix schools, let us fix, I don't know, hospitals, let us fix medical cover. We are telling him, Dende, we have a bigger cancer, we have a big problem, which he never wanted to address yesterday. That William Ruto is the problem we have as a nation. SHA not working, NHIF, I don't know, university funding model, all those things you were talking about was symptoms of the biggest disease we have. That we need to, if we remove William Ruto, 80% of our problems are gone. So Dende Nyoro never addressed us to what we wanted to hear. What is he going to work towards helping us to remove William Ruto from power? Because he's just telling us about symptoms of a failed republic. When you see goons, when you see people beating other people in every other place, what we have is William Ruto is the problem. So we are asking Dende Nyoro, after you are done speaking a lot of English, by the way, and Kiswahili and shouting, tell us what you are doing towards helping us. We'll remove William Ruto from power. That's what we want to hear. Number two, Dende Nyoro is moving around and talking about the election of 2027. We need to remind him that there was a budget in 2024 that he did not vote for. He abstained. There was impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. He abstained. There was a budget 2025. He abstained. There was a budget 2026. He abstained. Anything that looks like an election, Dende Nyoro doesn't like voting. In 2027, August the 10th, there is something called an election. Dede Nyoro, please abstain, because you have a habit of abstaining from a place where people are voting. We cannot continue having a leader who is making noise like you and me. What makes him a member of parliament is a vote. He has a vote from the people of Keharo that he's supposed to cast. When you don't cast, you become a noise maker. You have a power that Fanya Mambo and Nick and Cynthia and Nani here don't have. So don't come and tell us here that you are going to make a difference in this country. You have a power to vote in parliament. I'm sure the next controversial thing that is going to come, especially anything that annoys William Ruto, Dende Nyoro always chooses not to vote. 2027 kuna kitu inaitwa voting, hata hiyo don't participate.
The DCP people are feeling about Ndindi Nyoro. Ndindi Nyoro has a right to belong to any party. He can join or form any party. It is his democratic right. And I'm surprised that Fanya Mambo, who says he's very tolerant, doesn't want Ndindi Nyoro to form a party. But the feeling in the central Kenya right now is that they are still seeing Ndindi Nyoro as a mole. They are still thinking that Ndindi Nyoro is a person that has been sent by President William Ruto.
He doesn't vote
to come and spoil for Rigathi Gachagua. DCP is a new party. Did we have a problem of parties when we formed DCP?
No.
There was 99 other parties, but Rigathi Gachagua chose to form DCP. So Ndindi Nyoro can choose to form whichever party, Mateke party or whatever, for as long as it's a constitutional party. He declared yesterday that he's now joining opposition officially, but the feeling in Fanya Mambo's camp, and it has been there for a while, is that Ndindi Nyoro to wheelbarrow kidogo wenye wameform to wheelbarrow kidogo wanatupaka rangi ingine, wanatoa ile yellow wanapaka rangi ingine, but whether Ndindi Nyoro is going to withstand the wave that is with the DCP, because as of now DCP seems to be the strongest party in central Kenya. Whether he will withstand that wave and come back to parliament, or whether he's going to vie for another seat, we don't know. But obviously he's a plus when he's joining the opposition. Hiyo yao ni internal ya Mulima, but Ndindi on your camp will always be a plus to any camp that he joins, because
Can I ask you a very quick question?
Very smart guy. We have seen what he has done in Kiharu. The schools, Fanya Mambo has just patted him on the back a few moments ago.
True.
How he has built schools, how he has built all those other things. So he has done well as an MP. He has represented his people well. Development wise, he has done well. So he's not represented his people. He's a plus to any team that he joins. Whether their internal wars in Mulima are going to rock the opposition ship, time will tell. You know, those MPs we elect are a reflection of what we are as a society.
True.
That's a fact. As voters, we need to be clever as we go to the next election, because what happens is that we elect somebody and then after 1 week we start complaining that we MP anafanya hakuna. We elect a president, then after 1 week we start complaining that the president has done ABCD. So I think next time we are going to the ballot, we must make sure that we tunachuja hawa watu vizuri, tujue kwamba Fanya Mambo ataweza ama hawezi. Kama hawezi akae bench. Usielect mtu leo and then kesho unaanza kusema he has not done anything, si atafanyanga nini. But some of the things that Ndindi Nyoro has done in his constituency, people have said it is because he was the budget chair and he alikuwa anafanya namna hii apeleke huko maendeleo. But the fact is that most of our MPs are not. Hiyo CDF kama is doing something bad, wanasema no, sisi we are not in charge of the CDF, sisi tuko tu hapo kama patrons. But if it's doing something good, wanakuja hapo wanasema ni mimi, unaona nimeleta basari, unaona nimefanya nini. And so actually the courts have ruled over and over time that CDF is unconstitutional. And squeeze inaitwa NGCDF. But MPs wamekataa kuachilia hiyo kitu because it gives them visibility on the ground, because the courts have ruled paka venye walifika, I think it was Supreme Court ama appeals court, ndio court ikasema iendelee.
Yes.
But over time imekuwa ikirule kwamba it is unconstitutional and it should be regularized so that it aligns with the constitution.
For me, I don't even care about CDF. There's a lot of
Gojo
no. Let me tell you, there's a lot we can do as a country without even this CDF. Because part of what it does is give bursaries, which we prosecuted in this show na tukamaliza. Tukasema education ifanywe free for everybody, then bursaries become irrelevant. Okay? So hiyo maneno tulimaliza. The next thing CDF inajafanyanga ni kujenga classrooms. If you check the budget for the Ministry of Education, there's always a development there's always a development provision for schools, only that it is stolen every other year, sometimes close to 50 billion every year for the development of schools. So if we just push as members of parliament that money which has been allocated to the Ministry of Education for development of schools does go to schools, then we don't even need CDF. So, and then you come unasikia ati CDF tena inaenda kwa security. Why is an MP building a police station? There is a confidential budget of more than 400 billion that goes to the security forces every year. Mbona hawezi jenga police stations nayo? So this thing of saying that you need CDF as MPs, for me it's neither here nor there. Twende hiyo bunge, mimi nitakuwa naleta zogo huko na piga kelele, hii pesa inaenda kwa confidential budget, inaenda kwa police, is too much. Build police stations. Stop telling MPs to build police stations. Build houses for police. Provide decency. Give them computers. Hii mambo ya kwenda kuandika obi kwa kitabu inakaa ya butchery tumalize. Let it be computerized. So hiyo ni upuzi tunaweza maliza just by fixing what is already existing. Hiyo pesa iko. We don't even need CDF to come and build these things. But for Dende Nyoro, we are happy that he has this party, by the way. Si ati tuko na shida na hiyo chama. There's a collection of very, very, very terrible leaders who are about to leave UDA. Well, na unaona Kagombe alikataliwa kwao. We want them to have a home, and the home is Dende Nyoro's party. So any person who wants to leave UDA, usikuje kutusumbua DCP, by the way. Just join Dende Nyoro's party. Ndio tuangushe nyinyi wote pamoja, one kick. So it makes our life very easy. Kama wewe unataka kutoka UDA na uko Mount Kenya na unatafuta chama ya kuingia, we are very happy to cheer you and clap for you as you join Dende Nyoro's party.
Opposition or otherwise, they must just have to come up with a coalition, and they must have one candidate on the ballot to try and remove President William Ruto from power. Anything short of that, President William Ruto is going to do a two-term. They have to have a coalition, come up with a very big and good plan, so that they remove President William Ruto from power. Fanya Mambo wapende asipende, he will want Dende Nyoro in that coalition.
Okay.
No,
you know, you gather politics, you gather all, you scatter none.
Alafu unasikia sasa huyo kiongozi anataka kuja kuingia kwa chama na anakuja anataka apatiwe tiketi ya hiyo chama yenye alikuwa anapiga na wale watu walikuwa naua na wale watu walikuwa wanachoma. That's why we are saying Dende's party is a good haven for them. We want them, all of them, to join that party. Wewe kama uko UDA na ulikuwa unatafuta chama, tafadhali wacha kuja kutusumbua kwa DCP. Ingia kwa hii chama ya Dende. Ndio nyinyi wote muende pamoja. And it is a good way to know. So wewe Dende na chama yako na watu wako, go ahead.
Just the IBC trying to caution the public that we need to be better, we need to do better, because we cannot continue with the goonism that we are seeing. We cannot continue with what happened in Homa Bay, because if that happened, and imagine during an election where the whole country is charged, and you see what happened in Homa Bay, it's going to be very bad, and that's what IBC just trying to say, that please let us come back to our senses. And IG Kanja and Murkomen, they must wake up and do what they're supposed to do. The problem is that when it's a government leaning side that has done that, like what has happened in Homa Bay, you will never see any action. If that was happening and you the people who have planned those things are opposition leaning people, an MP or two will be in cells to this morning. But because it's government, you just they see nothing, say nothing.
We want to make it very clear to you, we are the victims. Sisi opposition, sisi ndio tumechapwa. And then you are threatening us and telling us if we continue with violence, you are going to cancel the elections. Did we beat ourselves? Why are you not going to tell the government that is meeting violence upon us to stop meeting violence upon us? Yani mtu amechapwa, yani mtu opposition, amechomewa gari, amefanywa kila kitu, everything terrible. And then you are threatening the one who has been beaten and telling them, can you stop violence, or otherwise we are going to postpone the election? I have had these suggestions of we are going to amend the constitution, especially with regards to public participation. I want to make it very clear. 50 million Kenyans love the Constitution of Kenya 2010, but they have a problem with their president. Now, we are not going to amend a constitution that 50 million Kenyans love because of a head of state that Kenyans have a problem with. It is easier for us to remove a head of state that we don't like through the same constitution as opposed to us removing a constitution that we like. 50 million Kenyans, why do we want to please one person? If one person has a problem with the constitution, that is the person who should leave office. 50 million of us are okay with it. Okay, and then 50 million of us are okay with having elections. If there is an IBC chair who feels that we shouldn't have elections, yeye ndio ataenda atuache. Ahame tu Kenya, aende ishi place ingine, ama resign hiyo kiti, akae Kenya kwa amani, aone 50 million of us tukifanya elections. So 50 million Kenyans want to have an election. If there is a chair who feels that we shouldn't have an election, yeye anaondoka. We can appoint Tosh or Chebaibai or yourself to be chairman IBC and you preside for us an election that we want. So we are not going to have a whole country held ransom by a few people who are not comfortable with the idea of us having an election. Wewe mwenye unafeel atufai kuwa na uchaguzi, una step aside too. We can even try Madam Cynthia here tumfanye chairman wa IBC.
Whether Uhuru is funding the opposition or not is, I think President William Ruto is just trying to create a narrative. He needs an enemy, and he's found that Uhuru being an enemy is going to maybe attract and motivate his voters to come out and support him. We have seen what Sifuna and Linda Mwananchi has been doing. Hata hiyo pay bill yao naambiwa sijui sasa imefika 15 million. People have just been removing 10 100 bob, and it's working for Sifuna so far, at least. Kalonzo alieka ikagonga mwamba, it never took off, but as of now it's working for Sifuna, and I hopefully President Uhuru Kenyatta will come out and say whether he's sponsoring kina Fanya Mambo or not.
When people cannot explain what is going on, they have to find somebody to blame. And by the way, the person who is sponsoring goons to beat up people has a problem with another one sponsoring people to go and attend a peaceful rally. I think Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, whether he has done it or not, I don't know, but he has a right to use his money the way he wants. The only thing I haven't heard, at least they have not said he's sponsoring militia to kill people. So Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has been accused so many times of sponsoring people to do the meetings they do. And then tukienda kwa hizo mikutano sisi, because I have done Linda Mwananchi rallies and I have done DCP rallies, tunaekanga gari zetu mafuta, tunajilipia hoteli mahali tunalala. All those people you saw accompanying Sifuna, by the way, fueled their own cars. Yeah, they is paid where they are staying. Hata sound mwenye aliwapea tunamjua, DS Njoroge, na anawapea anga hiyo sound free juu anawapenda. Now they've gotten to a place mpaka wanapatia Sifuna pesa kwa paper bag. Sasa huyo ndio Uhuru mwenye alikuwa anapatia pesa kwa paper bag. I mean, sometimes you accuse Uhuru of things that are impossible to actually do. Kwani ni pesa gani natumiwanga mobilization? Sisi tukienda mikutano za DCP tunakutanga watu wamejaa. All aspirants quiz wakisikia Rigathi Gachagua anakuja kama ni Gatondo, wale wanasimama Gatondo wana printingi makofia ma reflector because they want to be seen, na wanajazanga banners hapo. Sasa inawauma because wao wanaita watu State House wanatumia pesa. Sisi tunaenda tunakuta wananchi wanatupea pesa. Walikuja Olkalao, wanapeana pesa, tunapewa pesa yao, tunagawiwa, tunapewa, tunatumia na candidate wetu. I think it's really going to hurt them. Continue accusing Uhuru for all the years you want, but I'll tell you for free. If today Sifuna woke up and said, I am going to Kakamega na sina hata bob and I'm going by road, by the time anafika Naivasha atakuwa na 10 million. Because people will stand on the road, they'll give him all the money he needs. Mumeze hiyo wembe, itawauma. But the truth is, wananchi, they don't care. They will give the opposition money. Dende Nyoro will have rallies unabated. The fact that aliregister chama na haikuwa na resistance. Mona Linda Mwananchi ilikuta kuna ingine na ya Dende Nyoro haina resistance kwa registration. It tells you something. Dende Nyoro is going to conduct very peaceful campaigns. In fact, we shall be praying for him to find people because it will be hard for him to have crowds. So we will pray for him, we will support him. Sisi hatuna shida na yeye. Kama mnafikiri ati tutapigana na yeye then he becomes another Sifuna. We will never send goons to anybody. We never have and we will not. We will allow him to have his campaign in the cattle dips and a few markets and the places he wants to go. And then after that, we will deny him votes at the ballot.